Today, I have prepared an alternative timeline for you. Here, after the Crusade at Varna, Ulm was sad, and proceeded to utilize 0.1% of the power of their national ideas. Look at that, 5% burger loyalty equilibrium, that's incredible, slow down there, Ulm, that's way too strong. Anyway, yes, sorry, 0.1% of their power, and proceeded to annex the world. Their strength was so incredible that it instantly vaporized all active rebellions, colonized all the uncolonized land, and naturally demolished every little last bit of separatism from every province in the process as well. However, right before Ulm would return to their normal state, they did forget one tiny little thing: cause. One could say though that it wasn't a mistake. Ulm, after all, doesn't make mistakes. They were doing it for the content. Regardless of what you may believe, this is a situation we find ourselves today. So, let's get the usual stuff out of the way. A like would be appreciated if you haven't already, and a subscription would be amazing. Hey look, we're almost at 56k subs now. But enough self-shitting, let's load into this universe. Okay, so here we are, and I'm just gonna click single player, and as you can see, Ulm, in 1444, owns the world. Without exception or any uncolonized provinces, the whole world belongs to Ulm. And if we do select Ulm, we do find the first issue that Ulm will have to contend with. See, Ulm may own the world, as Effa mentioned before, but they of course only have a core on Ulm. The rest of the world is not cored, which means with their 21,918 development, 3,272 provinces, and 503 forts, well, not 503 forts, they have 502 fort level plus capital fort, which does come to a very comfortable 256 forts plus capital fort. They have their work cut out for them. They are naturally very prepared for this, because they open with +5 trade efficiency, so they can really make money from trade, as well as a land leader maneuver pip, meaning that they can really run down all the rebels that will be popping up. With that said, let's load into Ulm and see how they handle this whole situation. It's also, just as a preemptive spoiler because I tested this, going to be incredibly laggy. So for your enjoyment, I'll be cutting out every time Ulm is thinking, unless I'm mid-conversation or something, in which case you will see just how painfully laggy and calculation intensive this can get. Don't do this at home, kids. Anyway, let's get in and let's enjoy. Right, we load into the free city of Ulm, and indeed, I just want to reiterate that Ulm has not lost their Tier 1 government reform free city yet. They are still a free city, and of course, a member of the Holy Roman Empire. They're the one only member of the Holy Roman Empire, the free city, and they opposed the reform. It's a bit of an interesting department where we actually start losing a lot of money. We start in debt, but with 11,000 ducats alone, this should not be too much of an issue. Our greatest expense, of course, is our forts. There's a couple of them. And if we go to stability and extension, well, we have minus 1,313% admin efficiency because we're slightly over GovCap. Naturally, the only thing we've stated is our capital state. We have 12,412 unrest. However, this is somewhat mitigated by a high Republican tradition and the fact that we're trading in wine, although our religious unity is, I'm assuming, not very good. Yeah, see, we're Catholic. It's also very laggy just to interact with this menu, as you can see. Yeah, 23% of our land is Catholic, so good to know that the world stands 23% Catholic. A couple conversions ready to go, and of course, we are not coring anything. Nope. Now, if Ulm was smart, one of the things you should probably do is obtain 5 cores in the New World to get a large colonial nation to pop out. Then you can kind of feed one of those. And maybe release some vassals, but keeping them loyal will be a process. Otherwise, well, they've got their work cut out for them. 25,000 manpower, regaining 131 a month is probably not enough, but they do start with a noticeable army. I will also say that at this point the unrest is so high, it kind of broke the rebellion stages, because as you can see, the unrest count for the Danish rebels is so through the roof. They're actually losing rebel progress. So there's no unrest for this faction, so losing 10%, because as you can see, all those provinces have 12,000 unrest. But while this is a mitigation of at least some of their issues, a lot of the other rebellions, as you can see, do actually have unrest. So it's just going to give them a little bit more time before they get the whole, get the whole world cored and achieve stability. Then they naturally will. Otherwise, I think that's relatively enough introductions, right? I mean, they can go hire advisors. They've even completed submissions, like they've dominated Swabian. They could do the Swabian League and Swabian Liberty and the STEM Duchy. Look at that, +2 dip rep. That might really help them, and they'll get a perma claim on an area they already control. Yeah, anyway, I wonder what's going to happen with this. But I think that's enough introductions. I'm going to switch to pure observer mode. As you can see, that makes the game a lot smoother, I think, because I'm not calculating some faults in the process. And yeah. Oh, to also very quickly reiterate the state of the Ulm armies. They have 37,000 men for some reason in Beijing. I guess Beijing specifically, they need to defend. Okay. I mean, there's a couple Yan separatists to contend with, fair enough. They have another 15k stack of men inside the New World in the Inca area, fair enough, there's a lot of gold here. And of course, the main Ulm armies of 115,000 men, the Army von Ulm, guarding Ulm. So Ulm should not fall, although the overextension at this point and the unrest is so cripplingly bad that no one's paying Ulm any taxes. In fact, I'm pretty sure if we look, yep, they're not making any taxes. And despite the fact that Ulm has an entire global monopoly on the gold trade, and they own every single gold mine, they're actually only making 7.5 ducats a month from gold. 23 ducats from trade leaves a lot to be designed, but then again, they're probably just collecting in Vienna, yeah, so they might want to sort out their trade. I'll let them do that, they should make a lot more money from that. And their production, I mean, 30 ducats, it's commendable. The main thing is, of course, they need to sort out this fort thing. Also, rooting out corruption, for once, I'm going to go the AI, is a bit pointless. If we take a look, we're gaining 1,241 corruption a year. So even if we decrease it at the cost of 100 ducats a month, we're still going to be gaining 1,240 odd something corruption a year. So yeah, this slider is just a waste money slider. They will be at 100 corruption, which should help a little bit with unrest, but we'll see. Is this recoverable? Frankly, probably not. But let's sit back and enjoy the fireworks, because as promised, I think that's enough, and we can go ahead and unpause. I'll be making a couple saves, but I will also say, see, we've unpaused, so far so good, and okay, no major lag spikes, but what Ulm's going to do soon enough, I believe, is at some point they're going to release a nation, and as they start releasing nations, we're going to start seeing big lag spikes, and the game is going to start really thinking. That's one of the reasons I've gone straight to Speed 2. Are they not going to release a nation for the first month? Just to really spite me? Okay. So far, so good on the first month. Alright. They've split off their armies, so looking good on that front. Haven't done anything. Maybe their ruler is very anti-releasing subjects, because a couple times I've tested this, they've released subjects. Is an architectural visionary very anti-architecture? Oh, no, there's lag spike. There's the 16th of December. I believe that's probably our first subject being released. Let's find out what they've done. And yep, there it is. The game is not responding, because this is a really big lag spike. Yeah, it's bad. I have tested this. They tend to go ahead and release. And okay, there it is. The lag spike's mostly completed. Let's get a pause off. They've stopped paying for some forts. Okay. They're not paying for roads, and they're not paying for Cyprus, but they're paying for most other... And they're not paying for Gotland. Very specific choices and forts to not pay for, I'll be honest. And yeah, there it is. They've released China. Just to be also really clear, this is the Ming. They have a lot of money and all that is great, but they've also, of course, because they've been released by Ulm, are a republic. Democratic Ming. But yeah, I think we can sit back. We've got the Ming back on the map. They've just temporarily given Ming a bit of dependent rule while they go sort out their cause, and then they'll annex them back in no time. In fact, let's see, how hard will it be to improve relations with Ming? Because they are, of course, overextended. Well, if they do improve relations, we're getting 31,000... no, 314,544 opinion a year. Sorry, a month. My apologies, a month. Because our overextension is so goddamn insane that we've actually hit the overflow again. So, yeah. Our improved relations comes to a very respectable 314,500 a month. I'll give you your diplomat back. My sincere apologies, Ulm, for wasting it for 83 days. But I just wanted to demonstrate that. Anyway, I'm sure Ulm will be fine. I'm sure they have plenty of diplomats. Let's keep this going. Yeah, so far so good. I think the major lag spikes is when they release nations or return cores, because they do also like to randomly return cores in my testing. I did have to make sure this actually ran, for the video. Okay, so far so good. We've got the first autosave off, and that's another lag spike. You know what that means, gentlemen? It's going to be the next nation. And who's going to be next on our list? Ooh, I would say drumroll, but we'll be here for a while. Right, I'll just cut to when they've finished releasing them. It is the Timurids. The Timurids are here with some very fascinating borders. Why are these two provinces? Okay. And not these provinces? And also, they don't have a core on here. I am not sure how they obtained the core on Erzin. I'm not going to ask a question. Ulm's infinite wisdom is infinite. And you know what? If Ulm says that Timmy has a core there, Timmy has a core there. And we'll have no further questions. But okay, there we go. So Timmy and Ming are here. Oh, and there it is, the second lag spike. Ming is about to grant temporary independence to the next tag. Ooh, who's it gonna be? France. The French are here with natural French borders. My god, this is a horrific France. Are you sure you want to disfigure France this much? Oh, okay, and we're disfiguring someone else as we're about to release another nation. But that is a horrific French border. You can't. Is the French starting cause really that bad? That's grim. Okay, that one took us a while. 28. Alright, and the Ottomans. There we go, they are next. We have two subjects bordering each other now. I'd like to point out the Ottomans do not have a claim to Constantinople. That is obviously rightful land. They've retained that. But the Ottomans, the Timurids, the French, and Delhi. Delhi too is also now present on the scene, and that's another lag spike. Come on, I just tried to scroll up. We're going to have one more nation popping out. I wonder when the Ulm's administration, I guess, at this point is going to stop releasing countries. Like, at what point? Maybe never? I mean, they're surely not going to be able to keep any of these. Aha! Castile! I was going to say they're not going to keep any of these guys loyal, but Castile is here, and unlike the French, they've given them some pretty nice borders. Still missing Andalusia, still missing Aragon, but yeah, you know what? Not bad, not bad. If we do, of course... Oh, they're down to 10,000 unrest now, so they've lost around 2,000 unrest. That's pretty good, that's pretty good. Okay, okay. Anything in the New World yet? Nope, not that I can see. The New World is still directly under Ulm Amazonian administration. Oh, but that's a nice spike. Also, I should point out that these islands are forever uncolonizable and are forever uncolorable because no provinces border them to color in their terrain. Even the power of Ulm is not enough to live on those rocks. But, as I'm speaking, that's a very unfortunate place to lag. But, next nation, the English. The English are here. And, of course, natural English borders include the Isle of Man, a little bit of Ireland, just for the fun of it. You know, that's a canon event in any universe. Calais, and I would show you Brittany, but I think Ulm's releasing another nation, so we're back for another lag spike. Also, the Ulm Navy is operating, and immediately lag spike followed by lag spike. I was going to say, they built up an English garrison, so that's interesting decision-making by them, but there we go. Now, because it does take 10 months for rebels at the bare minimum to rise up, Ulm does have 10 months of no rebellions, so I guess that's good. Oh my god, this is continuous lag spikes. So they're clearly doing something crazy over there. I am struggling to take a look at this, so I hope I can zoom out at some point and just take a gander at this, but I think it's not going to be good for my performance when the rebels start. Oh my god, and even a 30th of April. Aha, the Byzantines, they've started returning cores, so each one of these is a small return core. They've given the Byzantines direct rule over Constantinople and not much else. Okay, we might have the Ottomans, Byzantium thing play out. Is it a vassal or is it just a return core? That I'll want to check. So, no, it is an independent Byzantium. Byzantium is independent, the Ottomans less so. Okay, interesting. I'd like to also point out, of course, Byzantium, as you can see here, although I don't know if you can even see my cursor at this point. Yeah, I think the game is so laggy you can't see my cursor, you can't see me pointing at Byzantium. But Byzantium there is a republic. Okay, let's pause for a second just to take a bit of a scope of the world. And the Pope is back. Pope is back in Rome. We have Byzantium. It is here. It is a republic, the Great Republic of Byzantium. I mean, so is every other nation. So there we go, because obviously the republics are the only form of government. The Ottomans are, of course, a civic republic, as I believe would be the Timurids, right? Yep, a civic republicanism for the Timmies. Ah, we've released a OPM in Korea as independent. Interesting. And Syria's here. Okay, as is Cairo. Interesting. I think they're going for the highest dev provinces first, just to mitigate at least some of their overextension. I think that's what's happening here, if I were to wager a guess. So I'm thinking Venice soon? Most likely Venice soon. Alright, and they've spread out the initial armies. They're getting ready. They've got quite a few troops in places, so these guys are marching around. They're getting ready to fight the inevitable rebellions, and I have to commend that, but I don't think I'm going to be able to pull that off, I'll be honest. But okay, so far so good. So we've actually got some independent tags. Ulm is now joined by the Pope, Korea, Byzantium, and the Mamluks on the Great Powers list. It's a temporary lapse in judgment, of course, before Ulm reconquers everyone. Although, again, I guess they don't have cores in it, so they have to desire and conquer Byzantium back. And congratulations to all Byzantibus. In an alien-only campaign, Byzantium is fourth great power. Joint fourth with the Mamluks. Yeah, okay. And of course, the Timurids have immediately gone into a revolt. That's actually very impressive from the Timurids. How do they have pretender rebels in a republic? Oh, and is that Vietnam? It is, but I think it's not on the Great Powers list. Yes, okay. Is that Timmy? How did you get on your republic? Ah, they're trying to put Timmy back on the throne. That's fair. And they're also very, very liberty desirable. Yeah, checks out. Although Ulm diplomatic reputation is plus 11,000. I guess Ulm is just so overextended that their diplomatic reputation is plus 11,000. So they'll genuinely be able to annex these guys back instantly because they have, you know, all of the dip rep ever. That's incredible. Okay, quite a vassal list. This menu, by the way, is incredible. Look at this vassal list. Ulm has vassalized the Ottomans, the English, the French, the Spanish, the Timurids, the Delhi Sultanate, and the Chinese. They're all vassals of Ulm. Puppet Master Ulm. Really going at it here. But okay, they're at dip relations, so it's probably why they're not releasing anymore and just releasing subjects. Did they take strong duchies? They did take strong duchies, okay. Alright, okay. Well, I don't think they've started any cause. No. But they've gotten rid of 3,000 unrest. You know, people will struggle to get rid of 3,000 unrest. I think Ulm's doing great. So let's let Ulm continue with their master plan. So far, so good. And I think we're just going to see, okay, another lag spike. I think that's another country being born. Most likely somewhere. We'll find out where it is. Syria has certainly some interesting choices. I'm expecting like a Lisbon, a Venice at some point too. God, it's going to be such a cursed reality. And I mean, I'm not sure Ulm will ever break rebels. Mainly because I think it'll be really painful for rebels to actually break Ulm because they have so many forts and everything everywhere. But, okay, there's some new nations popped out. Also, Ulm now owns Africa very poetically in the name placement. No. Oh, it is the Aztec capital. There we go. Caught it. I am a genius. Although, it's only 16 devs. Less than I thought. Okay. So, Ulm is no longer alone in the New World. That's good to know. But, no. So far, looking good. Right. We have June coming up now. So, then do July. I mean, you know how months work. But the good news is, after that, we're going to start entering the November territory. And as we start entering the November territory, that's when we're going to start seeing rebels. And I don't think Ulm will be able to maintain rule over their country as the rebels start popping up. Because sure, 75% of rebels are bugged and can't rise up, but the ones that aren't, they're going to be an issue. Let's actually take a look at the Ulm Rebellion progress. Now, they've got a couple. I mean, some of them are ticking back down, like these Hawaiian separatists are ticking back down. The Swedes are coming back. Mostly on 40%. They've actually kind of kept these guys in check. The unrest is so high, it's bugging out and not causing rebellions. Fascinating. Well, either way, we can't avoid it forever. So let's keep this going. What does the Mamluks desire? Yeah, the Mamluks desire a bit. The Ottomans also desire a bit. Byzantium has got reasonable desires, you know, that's fair. The English, what do they desire in life? The English are actually pretty chill. You know what? The English are chill. They want to take some islands because, you know, they're English, they have to. And they desire bits of France, but, you know, who doesn't? But, yeah, they're actually very, very reasonable. What about the French? What do the French want? They kind of want a bit of France. It's actually pretty reasonable from the French as well. The Castilians are the most reasonable. They only want a bit more of Iberia, and only slightly. So, you know what? Probably winning that one. Actually, what about Crimea? What do they desire? Well, a bit of a Khanate, but that's about it. And, of course, Crimea is a Grand Republic. Oh, God. Yes, all of these are republics. I forgot about this. The Mamluk democracy. Well, if there's one thing Ulm's done is it's brought civic republicanism to the entire world. So congratulations. Dare I even click on this? Yes, we have. Okay, they themselves are an oligarchy, but the rest of the world is civic republicanism. They've got no prestige because of unlawful imperial territory just to leave the empire. They've got a very good democratic right. They've got 100 corruption as well, but they're only getting 970 years. So that's good. They're a bit low on stability. Now, that could use some work, but I guess they're saving their admin to core. They're pretty good on money. They're now making 100 from trade, actually, despite giving a bunch of independence away. Gold income isn't really affected, and yeah, I mean, they can certainly just maintain this. As you can see, they're paying a lot of money in interest. Wait, how? Why is this interest? Oh, -1 stab. So those are big loans. So each loan has a lot of interest. They should really consider burger loans, because that will give them a fortune. But they might genuinely struggle to even afford the 1% interest. I think they're getting ready. They're out of manpower, but they've got some armies. You know, they've got 176,000 men in the field. That should help against this. Yeah, it'll be fine. They're not even going into any disasters. By Ambenar standards, this country's perfect. Okay. Let's get the pause off. Let's get a pause after a month tick. The reason I wanted to is I want to see the updated great powers. Alright, the Pope is now great power number 1. Joined second with Korea. Followed, of course, by the Byzantines and the Mamluks, who are joint third. And then we have, of course, Syria, Daviet, and Crimea. bring up the rear, although, sorry, Byzantium Mamluks are joint fourth, because of course Pope and Korea are both ahead of them by 1 point. Ulm remains over 20,000 development, which is very impressive, as well as, of course, 3k of that. Well, 3,000 of that is subject development, so 18,000 dev on their own. Excellent. Right. Well, I guess that's enough of that. Let's keep going, and we should be seeing rebellions soon enough. Yeah, so it's been 10 months, give or take. And, well, some of them are getting up there, aren't they? Yeah, around 60%. The French, of course, are leading the French are leading the charge on the rebellions. But some of the rebellions, the Sopash, they're actually taking back down again, due to some weird unforeseen bug, which is very, very good for the Ulm state. And even the Ulm Navy is kicking off now, look at that. Got 21 heavies, Ulm really does rule the waves. And frankly, everything else at this point. But yes, anyway, I anxiously await these rebellions. Alright, we're now in October, which means that Ulm has made immaculate progress on their world governorship. And indeed, if they just last one more month, they've officially made it a year. Well, on the 11th of November, they would have made it a year in the Ulm administration, which is excellent. And if they can survive until November with no revolts, they have ruled the world for a whole year without anyone formally complaining, which is incredible. I mean, I guess they did release the French, so that's probably a big part of why, but, you know, it is what it is. And there it is, the 11th of November, 1445. Ulm has made it a year as world hegemon, although they haven't claimed any of the hegemons. Pretty impressive. I think Ulm at least has slowed down with their random nation releases, although as I say that, that's a lag spike, so I think that's another one. I think you can return core if you have a rebellion, I'm not sure though. New World is still also very under Ulm control, which is nice. They've released one... Oh god, Aztec Grand Republic. It's an Aztec Grand Republic Empire with... Oh, Jesus Christ, that's cursed. But there it is, 11th of November. And the lag spike means they're releasing yet another nation for fun. And, I mean, everyone's inherited the Ulm corruption, so that's good to know. Yeah, all of the nations that are coming out of this, I've just realized, that have been released by Ulm, inherit the Ulm 100 corruption. Say what you want about Ulm and bring democracy to the world. It's a very, very corrupt democracy, like peak corruption democracy. Alright guys, I'll be honest, EU4 is doing a very, very big thunk here on the 28th of December. I'm getting a bit worried. I cannot shift tab back into EU4 at this point, so I'm just talking at you from the OBS screen. Oh, okay, it's moving on the OBS screen. Can it shift? I can shift tab. We're back. Everything's back. Ulm has survived the year tick, and what a year tick that was. Alright, okay, this... I need a NASA supercomputer to process the mental gymnastics Ulm is going through right now to try and rule the world. Frankly, fair enough, Ulm. But congratulations on making it until January. Oh, okay, that thing they're releasing the other one. I mean, January with no rebellions has to be incredible at this point. I wonder if they started any cores. Oh, and Cyprus is free, by the way. Cyprus is here. Alright, let's take a look. I don't think they've... they haven't started any cores. But they've started some rebellions. And of course the French are the first to lead the rebellions. Makes sense. There's a bit more Italians in the process. Yeah, the Italians and the French. And the Irish. There's a couple Irish people rising up. That's neat. Okay, a couple Native Americans. A bit of Mexicans. Not much over here though. That's good. That's good. Anything in Africa? No, Africa remains stable so far. Excellent. Direct rule in Africa is working flawlessly. Nothing in the Middle East. Middle East is looking great at the moment, actually. That is looking very stable. Okay, QQ's here and free, but no rebellions there. India is looking perfect. A bit of issue in Southeast Asia. There's a bit of unrest over there, but they'll deal with that. And oh dear God, they've been releasing so many random tags over here. No, Ulm, you gave up your... Wow, the spice island's even coffee. Ulm's not about the spice. Damn. Anyway, they've given up some of their other spice islands as well in the process. Okay. Australia looking good. Ulm Oceania. It's got a bit of an island uprising. But yeah, and a couple peeps in Japan, as well as Hosokawa independently on its own, as well as Usagi. I guess they were like hoping I wouldn't see it because it's the same color as Ulm. But yeah. Alright, a couple small revolts, but nothing that the grand armies of Ulm can't deal with. Surely they'll put down these revolts and all will be well. So let's unpause and see how bad the next month's tick is. Oh, actually, very quickly before we do, one of the greatest saving graces for Ulm, of course, is the Art German culture group. So, because there's no separatism in the German culture group, that's all of these chaps, as you can see, they don't get separatist revolts. They get particularists, even if they don't have cause on them. Which does mean when these German particularists do rise up, they are so screwed. But until that point, why is this province no culture? How have they done that? How have they made Stuttgart no culture? Is this some kind of neighborhood rivalry that I'm genuinely, I don't know how they've achieved this, by the way. Very unrelated. This is the first time I've spotted this. How has Stuttgart got no culture? Like, anyone from Stuttgart? Do you know if there's any culture in Stuttgart? Maybe I'm saying it wrong at this point. I don't know. I guess we've never experimentally confirmed that Stuttgart had any culture in the first place. But no culture in Stuttgart. And I guess, have they started any cause? It's probably a no. Yeah, I think that's a reassuring no. Any no culture provinces anywhere else? Oh, there's a couple. There's a couple no cultures out here in Dongolia. I guess there's some kind of political messaging going on there. Alright, and no, the rest of the world looks pretty cultured, frankly, yeah. No, it's just Stuttgart and Central Dongolia. This has to be just doing some kind of weird activation. And also because there's no culture separatists, it's also just particularists, so I guess that's neat for them. Alright, well, I'll let Ulm keep this going. Alright, month tick time. Let's see the damage. Okay, that's not that bad. That's not that bad. They can handle this. Couple small uprisings in the Middle East, but nothing too crazy. Okay, Africa's a bit more on fire now. Alright, that's fine. Bit more in Ethiopia, a couple Great Lakes. Nothing in South America still. A bit more in Central America here. And North America, yeah, the natives are not very happy. There's a couple more Irish peeps joining them. The Hebrides are up. And, oh, I think they're releasing or returning something 26th of Feb. That's a big lag spike. But couple chaps over here in Novgorod area, near the Baltic, rising up. A couple bit more on the Gotland. Okay. Another month tick. Alright, that's a lot more Italians this time, but so far so good. Most of the Irish are uprising now, fair enough. Odiev's uprising, Nizhny Novgorod's rising up. Okay, another lag spike. I mean, Ulm is fighting them, as you can see here in the bottom left. They're going for it. They're trying to fight the rebels. They're trying to contain this spread of anti-Ulm sentiment. Okay. Although when this lag spike's over, I'd love to return to you. Yep. Okay, alright. So far so good. A bit more trouble in the Middle East. A lot more issues in Africa now. Okay. That's a lot more in Africa. How's India looking? Oh god, India's on fire. Okay, India is now on fire. I think India will be joining Delhi soon with their independent dependence on Ulm. Alright. And 22nd of March, that's a big lag spike. That was very smart by them to release China, actually. Very big vassal, and it's probably saved them a whole bunch of Chinese rebels to deal with, so that's good job on that front. God, the game is so laggy. It has to be them calculating how to kill all these rebels, right? Right? This is this is a live recording, to be clear, of how painful this is. But okay, we're back. Oh, I see. Most of Japan's on fire. Yeah, it does happen to happen. Alright, and there's the next month tick. Alright, okay, everyone in Ireland has risen up now. That's good to know. Germany's remaining very loyal, as is Denmark, and Ulm is now putting down some of the French revolts. Although, again, another lag spike. I think they're starting to return more cores, is my guessing, and setting up nations while also processing all these rebellions. But yeah, that's a lot of Native Americans. That's starting to be pretty bad. Hey, Cusco's back. Welcome back. Of course, we're talking about the Cusco Republic. A bit corrupt, but you know who isn't at this point. And second lag spike. Yeah, these 11k are probably getting ready to put down some Amazon revolts, but are not seeing deployment. Even an observer, the lag here is insane. But alright, let's take a quick pause. I want to check, before more provinces get occupied, how close is Ulm to breaking to these rebellions? They're now -2 unrest stability, well, I guess that really doesn't do too much. They're 8% towards breaking, so yeah, it'll take them quite a bit more. Take them quite a bit more to break here. They should be fine. I mean, their unrest keeps going down. And look, they've got an oligarchy now. And John Capgrave. Is that their ruler? He is not. But they've hired a John Capgrave for 12 ducats a month to give them -2 unrest. And Gustav over here is going to be for 25 ducats a month because, you know, hey, got that trading in tea reduction. That's going to give them some extra morale, and that's going to be nice, I guess. Alright, so far so good. Look, it's mostly unoccupied. And the Ulm is even putting down the Moravian separatists. Yeah, look, it's practically fine. Maybe not India. India's not looking too fine, I'll be honest. Okay. I mean, a couple more lag spikes have cut out, just to be clear. Because every time, of course, Ulm releases a nation, we get another one. Is Venice free yet? No, they've kept Venice. Alright. And another lag spike on the 31st. I think they're releasing someone right before the month tick. I guess that's one way to prevent a rebellion, I think. Guess we'll find out on the month tick. Alright, well, it's not that bad. This month wasn't too awful for rebellions. Although, okay, now most of Africa's on fire. I say that until I look down to Africa. Ah, the 11k here was to keep the Potiguaran separatists in check. Very smart, Ulm, for keeping them on the coast of Brazil. That's going to do it to them. You're going to maintain rule over Brazil now that you've done that. Congratulations, Ulm. Very smart. I would zoom out and look at other things. Unfortunately, yet again, we're back to the lag spike environment. Okay, a couple more Native Americans popping out with their Ulm-based democracies. Good to know. I will also have to say, well, there's this massive lag spike, the fact that Ireland is entirely taken over by rebels, the small exception being Limerick, and the bit under British rule, is very funny to me. Like, the entirety of Ireland, apart from the citizens of Limerick, and those under British control, rose up. And hey, Glogos here. Surprisingly, it's the bigger nations like the Polish that are somewhat staying loyal, because I guess they would be so unrestful, their stack overflowing back into loyalty. Or maybe they're very smart, they realize if Ulm breaks the rebels, they get independence for free anyway. Alright, well, some of these rebels are now... I mean, the French rebellions are so bad, they're now sieging out France. So the French are fighting themselves, classic maneuver. Damn, even the Ottomans are getting some Bulgarian separatists in on the action. Looking interesting so far. And yeah, I mean, it's a lot more fires now. Okay, yeah, Africa, I think Africa's just gone. Timbuktu's free. There we go, Timbuktu's popping out. Neat. India is just under Indian administration now. Okay, this is like the opposite of peaceful protest, guys. Well, I was going to talk about the steppe and the lack of rebellions in the steppe, but I've been waiting on this pause for some good minutes. Okay, now that I start complaining, it stops. So that was something interesting that Ulm was releasing or cooking up there. But yeah, the steppe remains relatively loyal. Congratulations. I guess the people in the steppe haven't realized they're under Ulm administration yet. But alright, Russia's on fire a bit now. Rostov, Yaroslav, Nizhny Novgorod, Kazim, Tver, Belozero, Odiev, they're all going at it. Gotlanders are... I mean, hey, they're going to get that fort soon. Freedom for Gotland. And remarkably, Scotland are still loyal. I don't know why the Scottish, of all things, that loyal. And hey, congrats to Ulm. They've got it down to 8,500 unrest. They're really working on it. They've knocked off 4,000 unrest in just 2 years, because we've just had the second year to. Congratulations, Ulm, for surviving 2 years and knocking off 4,000. They've got rid of a third of their unrest, which is quite impressive in just 2 years. With that said, before November comes to an end, let's check in back in on Ulm. So their armies they're missing a bit of manpower, fair enough. I mean, they're fighting a couple of rebels. They're down to just 100,000 men as well. Bit of corruption is still the issue, of course. They're at -3 stability. They could start coring, but they haven't done any of that yet. And they've now 34% of the way towards breaking to rebels, so that's something. But hey, at least they're still fighting. They're still putting down at least some of the revolt, so congratulations, Ulm. And have they converted anyone to Catholic? Not that I can tell. They probably also can't afford it. World religions are looking pretty normal, dare I say. Pretty normal. I mean, the culture map mode is literally default. I'm not sure where I'm even checking that. Oh! An update. Dortmund now also has no culture. The Ulm administration has not just destroyed the culture of Stuttgart, they have also gotten rid of the Dortmund culture. Dortmund is now a culture-free environment. There is no culture in Dortmund, make of that what you will. I mean, Europe's going pretty well for them, to be fair. They're kind of maintaining rule over Europe. India's just, yeah, I think should probably stop looking back there. Japan is, for the most part, yeah, occupied, I think. A couple forts, but that will be it. I mean, I guess the Ulm capital hasn't fallen. Alright, we're mid-December, next big lag spike, so you know what that means? Some random OPM inside of the new order is about to become free. Thank you, Ulm. Very cool. Really appreciate you calling these lag spikes. I guess it's a competition to see who's going to survive longer. The Ulm state, or my sanity, as I look at these, every single one of these lag spikes. But yeah, I guess until the Ulm capital falls, that's not going to help them break the nation either, so should be interesting. I wonder if any of them ever go for that. And of course, as these occupations spread out, they are going to start gaining cores too. I do love how southern Italy is just fine with the Ulm administration, and everyone in northern Italy is complaining. Well, Brazil's maintaining their loyalty, the Incan land a bit less so, and yeah, I think the Aztecs bits of it are on fire. Alright, fair enough. I was going to look at the Aztec bits on fire, but I've been in a slag spike for a bit now. Alright. Oh, okay, there we go. Nice. And yeah, I think the Native Americans are going to have control over America now. Okay. Good to know. I would check ideas or anything, or see what Ulm's going to try and deal with this, but it's only been 2 and a bit years, so it's not like they've got any ideas. And instead, you don't exactly have spare admin to start taking ideas. Alright. Well, 14th of February, very romantic by Ulm to stop on the 14th of February. Do appreciate it, but please hurry up and finish releasing the goddamn tag so I can move on with my life. Thank you. All I had to do was ask. Oh, and you're releasing another one. Okay, that's just rude, Ulm. That's just rude. They're really trying to delay the inevitable, aren't they? Anyway, to double check on the Great Powers list, the Pope is still ahead with 26 development, and frankly, not a lot of changes there. And hey, Granada, I can see it behind this list. I'm trying to press the close button, but Ulm is insisting on releasing another goddamn country. But yeah, congratulations to Granada, they're here. I mean, they've outlasted Portugal, I guess. Well, I guess outlasted is the wrong word. They've out-popped out Portugal. Alright, okay. Surely they're going to start breaking some of these soon, and I mean, silly separatists are rising up as well in the middle of that. Let's maybe pause. Okay, I mean, the Kandahar rebels are ready for round 2 soon. We're 42% of the way towards breaking, and I mean, we're still at peace because there's no one ready to declare war. Everyone is truced, so that part at least is good. Alright, well, let's pop back out of this menu and let the world continue. Hey, Tunis is back as well. Congratulations, Tunis. You made it. Thing is, they have so much trade power in the node because Ulm is just so overextended despite owning the entire thing. Yep. Ulm and Tunis have, like, parity. The Breton separatists are here now? Okay, yeah, I mean, forts are going to start falling soon, as you can see here. Lutish has not got long for this world, although that's a bit of a water shortage. And 1 more month tick. Yeah, nothing more crazy in Europe happening at the moment. Ah, Kazakh is back. Congratulations. So there's been at least some movement in the steppes, and these little bits next to Ming are starting to rise up as well. But nothing too crazy. Is that? No, that has to be independence. Yeah, that's not anyone breaking. Bengal is here. And I think a lot of Indian colleagues will be joining them soon. But yeah, a lot of releases in Southeast Asia. Sunda's back. Majapahit's back. So many of these are so cursed. Like a Majapahit Civic Republic. The entire world is just one big Civic Republic. And even Australia is on fire. Okay. I mean, this is actually pretty normal for Australia. There's, at any given point in Australia, there's around 30,000 men rising up violently against the government. That's just how they communicate over there. Although I don't think they call that revolts. I think they just call that a good night out. Alright, well, Ulm is definitely a bit more splodgy, and their name placement has migrated to the one place loyal to Ulm, the steppe. I would zoom out and look at it, but on the 15th of July, Ulm has decided to release yet another goddamn country. Sorry, return core. Hey, look, there's Songhai in the bottom there. So yeah, I'll zoom out in a second and show you the Ulm name placement. Was going to do that before Ulm rudely interrupted me, and again, this is just for the sake of how bad the last spikes is. But yeah, Ulm now lives here, alright, and it's a very, very splodgy Ulm. Well, the rebellions are slowly starting to hit Germany as well. I would love to talk about them and zoom in and look at them, but of course Ulm has decided to take this opportunity to go release another tag again. Sorry, return call yet again, so it's a bit difficult, but yep, Valencia's rising up. Oh, I'd love to look at the Aragonese separatists, but again, Ulm has said that they're gonna go return one more core. That's gonna save it, Ulm. Remember, you're just one province return away. One province return away from solving all of your issues. Like, I look at this, see there's a lag spike. I look away, grab a drink, I come back, and we're sitting on a different lag spike because Ulm is returning yet another goddamn province. Okay. Look, Bohemia's here though. Nice. Took you a while. Congratulations to the Bohemian Republic. I would love to look at you, but there's another nation being born as we speak. I was going to say the Middle East can't be too bad, but no, this is horrific. Jesus Christ. Everyone in Arabia and the Middle East has risen up at this point. That's concerning. The one surviving little bit of stable island in the Middle East seems to be the Mamluk clans. Everything else is just incredibly on fire. Dear God. And I would zoom around again to show more of it and show more of things like India, but of course, I mean, I kind of have to pause at this point just to know there wouldn't be a new lag spike. The steppe. This is the place that they accept Ulm. I guess Ulm did conquer the world, so they accept Ulm for that. But yeah. And also Sweden. I guess Sweden's just kind of done with this. They're like, yeah, we'll have this rule. Also, really? These places don't have Swedish cores? That's weird. That's really weird. No Swedish cores, and why did the Swedish cores in Stockholm go? Ulm? What happened to the Swedish cores in Stockholm? Alright, I guess we better not ask any questions before they remove the culture of Stockholm as well. Yeah, no other holes, right? So far, so good. Okay, let's get ourselves to the, to November. Ah, even the English are getting some Gascon separatists now, and yep, there it is, the Scottish separatists have finally bothered to rise up. Congratulations. Okay, can I pause and load to November, when you're done returning your core? Please? I mean, surely at some point you've stopped, but I guess Ulm is on the return core grind set. Remember, you're always one return core away from fixing your nation's problems. Right, I guess we'll give them one more day. There we go. 3 years, dear God alive. How's Ulm looking after 3 years? Well, 57% towards breaking. I guess that's progress. I mean, they've released some of the most random provinces, like Algeria here and Gao and I guess Joma. Probably sorting by development in some kind of way. Mutapa's here in 3 development. You can tell it's a return core because they're on 99 corruption under Grand Republic of Mutapa, but you know, that's the thing. Others, Mahafali separatists, yay, they're also going for it. They're part of the fun. I guess the Native Americans kind of just rose up and called it, and they are just standing there. Fair enough to them. Iceland is going for it. Congratulations to Iceland. As are the Latgalian separatists. Good luck. And Moldova's going for it too. Congratulations, right? It's kind of funny, but you can almost see some of the old 1444 borders based on the rebel distribution. Like, a lot of the smaller countries are producing a disproportionate amount of rebels, like over here in the Great Lakes and so on. And then some of the bigger areas without countries, you can still see them being rebel-free. Or like things like Ayutthaya here is getting like 1 or 2 rebels, but most of it's rebel-free. That kind of deal. It's pretty neat. And Germany and Netherlands, I already thought they'd get something like the Dutch Revolt, but I guess the Dutch are just kind of... Oh, of course, the Dutch, they're swamp Germans. They don't get separatists either, it's just the Frisians. The Walloons, they get separatists, yeah. I see. Also, of course, there's no recent uprising. Well, there is recent uprising, just doesn't do anything, because minus 100 unrest, as you can see, still gives you, yeah, quite a bit of unrest. Also just realized, of course, that the Ulm unrest is so incredible that events like separatist sentiment literally do nothing, which is poetic. Right, so it's March now, the Ulm rebellions continue. There's a lot of people doing around 2 rise-ups as well, so that's cool, I guess. Ulm continues to slowly but surely return course to deal with their insane amount of unrest, but they've now approached 61% of breaking, so that's something. I guess every single percent past this point gets harder and harder to get, as they have to siege out more and more forts. But other forts are starting to fall now, like City has now taken this province here. So, actually, weirdly enough, the Scythian cores haven't grown, because they're Slovene, so they're not exactly gaining cores on here, but, you know what, progress. Oh, look, the French are cute, they're helping the Ulm's armies deal with their rebellions. Look at that, France. That's so nice of you. You are very disloyal, but I guess you're so disloyal you're loyal again. That's nice of you. I'll be honest, I'm still surprised they're finding provinces they want to return, because I'll be honest, the save has been going for a while. Like, literally, between me speaking on the lag spikes from the 25th down to the 28th, like every 3 days, we pause the game for a good solid minute or 2, while Ulm figures out which core is returning. For context of why I'm moaning so much, because here's the exact same thing happening now on the 31st of May, and I've had a good couple minutes to think about what I'm going to say. Well, the recording length I'm currently looking at is around 3 hours long, and I'm gathering the video is going to be slightly shorter than that. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's in a case of me getting a quote-unquote better computer. Normally I can run, speed 3, speed 5 pretty well. Do I even release the raw footage of this? You know, a special members only bit of content. You could see the raw footage of the Ulm lagging the game every 5 seconds. Because I feel like right now I'm getting relatively lucky. We've gone quite far without an Ulm release. Okay, As I say that, we're back to the 12th of June. We're going to sit here for a couple minutes while Ulm figures out what core to return. But, you know, just kind of thinking, like, is that content? See, there's some kind of head game that Ulm has where they're trying to, get in my head and get me to stop this experiment before they break to rebels. I'm not gonna lie, they're winning. Ulm, of course, is not only lagging the game, but very generously also fighting the Ottoman separatists instead of fighting their own separatists. I guess they're also their own separatists, but indirectly. Either way, you probably should not be focusing on the Ottoman Iodine separatists. I think you might have bigger issues to deal with. I also just love a universe where all of these people have risen up in the middle of India. They've been in charge of this land for years now with these revolts, and they still don't have their own country. That's because Ulm, of course, controls land and bits of Siberia, which means they haven't actually occupied 50% of the land, so they can't enforce their demands yet. Alright, there it is, the 11th of November. We've hit 4 years of Ulm rule. Oh god damn it, I was going to pause, but Ulm's taking this opportunity to, you've guessed it, let's say it all together, return another core, so we'll have to wait for Ulm to do that. Then I can pause and take a look at their country. I'm calm, I'm collected, thank you Ulm, there we go. Let's see. What's the scale of the damages? They remain at -3 unrest. I mean, their corruption is... They're only getting 740 corruption a year now. That's like less than... That's less than 100 a month. You know, that's progress. Something. Look, they're below 1,000%. They're less than -1,000% admin efficiency. It's progress. They're also 70% towards breaking. They just need 400 more profits. Oh, God. Oh, God. I mean, even Siberia is starting to rise up at this point. Yeah, I don't think they're safe. Yep, there they go. There they go. Alright. Ryukyu. Ryukyu is also the first liberation army of Ryukyu has risen up and taken over Ryukyu. Congratulations to them. But yeah, I mean, they're trying. They are goddamn trying. Although, wow, this is a cursed reality. Egypt. I'm not sure how, but apparently they managed to pacify the entirety of the Egyptian nation by releasing Cairo. The honest answer is I think there's just so many rebels they would be getting in Egypt here that they're not actually getting rebels. Okay, see, there's like these would be Mamlukian separatists. They're not even getting them because there's so much unrest towards them. They're not getting any progress. But all the smaller countries, yeah, they're all here. And the Americans, slowly but surely, they're starting to grab the order. North Carolina and Virginia are going to be flipping to the Tuscaronian separatists. Okay. I also just love how chill like Scandinavia and Denmark is about this whole situation. They're like, yeah, nah, we're good. I mean, they're just basically bigger countries. They're not getting revolt tanks because Scotland is. And also, like, what happened to Sweden? Where did all the Swedish cores go? Wait, they've actually started coring here. Look at them go, Ulm. You're gonna finish this in 1451. You're gonna decrease your overextension that way. Congratulations. Good job. I mean, there's some Norwegian cores. Wait, what happened? Is Sweden just gone? No, there's some Swedish cores. Is Sweden just migrated to Finland? Yeah, apparently so. Look, they don't have anything of Sweden. That is very weird. Anyway, that's been 4 years of Ulm rule. Let's hope for... I was going to say many more, but really not. They're going to keep returning cores. Oh, yep, and the French are back to fighting themselves. Well, I guess fighting the Orléans separatists again. Crimea might not be long for the sword, as the might of the... I'd love to check the separatist name, but Ulm has decided to, yet again, stay with me now, return a core. Trapezounite separatists on their way to Theodoro decided to crush any of the Crimean state's dreams, so resting. And the Ottomans fabricated a claim on them. Wow. The Ottomans are so ready for, like, everything to go down here. I mean, they don't have a truce with Ulm. Once the Ottomans are free, and they'll be free to deck wars very soon, because it's 1449. They'll be free to declare independence wars in March. And hey, look, Great Horde's back as well. Of course, Great Horde is a Grand Republic, led by, you guessed it. Let's pop into them right now. They are, of course, a civic republicanism Great Horde. They have Horde ideas. Think I go to... oh my god. But hey, they're funding some separatists. Do the French actually have separatists they're quote-unquote funding? I would click on them, but you've guessed it. Say it with me now. Ulm is returning another core. I'm starting to realize, as I'm recording this live, is that between every time I say returning another core, there's like a long pause. But once I edit this all together, it's just going to be me saying, oh, look, they return another core, look, they return another core, look, they return another core, like 50 times over in a row. But no, I don't see any, oh, there's a... No, that's just the armed troops. There's no aligned separatists. Although, wow, that's a lot of Scottish separatists as well now. The Scots are living up to their claims. What I guess surprises me is genuinely how well the game actually runs, apart from the brief intermissions we get every 5 seconds. Outside of those, it's quite smooth. Surprisingly so, despite all the troops on the field. Alright, it's the 13th of July, and Ulm has now hit 80% of the way towards breaking to rebels. I think they can actually manage to hold on for another year till November 1449 to have a 5-year Ulm administration of the world, but I think after that it's going to be over for them, so that's my guess. I don't think they can manage 6. And also, at the end of that, they're going to have their truces expire March 1450 with their subjects, and I think they're not going to be sticking around from my understanding. Although, fighting Ulm at this point is pretty difficult. They have millions of men out in the field as rebels. I will say, only under the Ulm administration will Nitra, a 5-province rebellion, ever see 40,000 men out in the field. I would again just love to reiterate that these are Nitrian men, and when the 20th of September Ulm decision to return a core will be completed, I will demonstrate this, of course. There we go. These are Nitrian separatists. You can see them now. No one in the universe will you ever have to see Nitra with 40,000 men ever again. And again, I would just to really reiterate and drive this point home, love to confirm. Look, 20,000 Nitrians. But at this point, Ulm is returning so many cores, I can't even get like one sentence out before Ulm decides to return 3 more cores. I'm just hoping that once they break, which surely eventually they break, right? The rest of the recording goes a bit faster, because we're hitting like 3.5 hours of raw recording time, we haven't hit 5 years yet. What is the French army doing going through Switzerland and Germany? Did they just disappear as well? Sorry. I swear I caught that on camera. They just walked into Freiburg and vanished. This 1k made it, but where did the 25k stack go? I swear that they were there. Am I hallucinating? But okay, there we go. It has now been 5 years. Ulm. They don't break in 5 years. It takes more than 5 years to break Ulm. They're 85% of the way towards breaking. I don't think they survive another year. I think once the rebellions start, it's going to be so over for Ulm. God, this world map is just so cursed. So many random holes from tags they've returned. The only bits of Japan that know peace are the random provinces that they could return course to. Everything else is occupied. Ah, I see even the steppes are no longer putting up with Ulm. They've also risen up in revolt. Well, 89%, but we're in February, and March is going to be a very, very interesting time. Because in March... Well, actually, it's already happened. Sorry, in February. March, I believe, is the Ottomans. Ming will no longer be truced, and hence can go fight for their independence. Also, they have the mandate of China, but of course they have a bit of corruption in the Ming at the moment, so they don't have any mandate. Maybe that's why they're staying loyal. I'd also like to point out that the previous Ulm ruler has left the scene at this point. He didn't win the next election. So now they've been replaced by Syndic Friedrich Zebnich, who's now most of the world hegemon. But credit where credit is due, no one is rising up against the Ulm administration, or at least not for now. I guess the Ulm rebels kind of walked through everyone's lands and killed everyone's troops as well. Finally, the Swedish have risen up, which means they did it. Because they're revolting, they're gaining cores, at least most of them. See, the Swedish cores are regrowing back on Sweden. I'm also thinking, how bad is the lag spike when Ulm breaks the rebellions? It might be the end of the video. We'll find out. I guess you know now by the length of the video. But there it is, 93.7%, 0.8. Slowly but surely, more provinces are falling by the day. 94. Just 6% away from a new world order, as everyone finally breaks free from the shackles of the Ulm administration. And there's a second round of uprising for everyone again. I like how the Timurs, even in this universe, are still on fire. Also, poor Kazakhs, they're getting sieged out by 23,000 Uzbeks. Oops. Remarkably though, yet again, Ulm has managed to maintain control and not a single war. All of their rebels are, all of the countries that they have, should we say, adjacent to them, they're all loyal. Even England is loyal to the cause. I mean, it's so bad that even Limerick has finally bothered to rise up with Thormondian separatists, although Pale remains nice and stable. 95.6%, I think at around 97, 98 area. I'm going to make a save, just in case this is the end of the video, as it were. We'll just have a moment right before it does go down, and hope that my computer can handle the rebels enforcing their demands. Alright, one more month of rebellions, they're gonna get that. I guess they might even make it to November now. They will survive 6 years just to spite me. There they go. Another wave. Even Germans are now... Central Germany's under threat by the Bohemians. Okay. It's getting pretty bad. But hey, they've almost halved their unrest in this time. They've made excellent progress on managing with their world conquest. I wonder if I send this save and this status Levick right now, if you can fix this. Alright. October 97. Oh god, okay, let's quickly make a save before Ulm decides to return another core. Oh, okay. Oh, I think Ulm might be mid-returning cores. I pressed the... Oh no, it's not responding. Oh god. Come on, EU4. Process the return of the core. You can do it. I believe in you. Okay, there we go. Okay, alright, okay. Okay, let's make the save. So thankfully, I've also got autosaves, but I've got Save Me as the main save. Alright. Let's hop in and ready to enjoy the fireworks. Because with each passing day and each passing occupation... Can I actually unpause? Oh my god, there you go. Thank you. With each passing day and passing moment, Ulm gets closer and closer to breaking. 98, 98.5. Last 1.5%. Oh god, that's lag spike. Oh god, it's not responding again. Did another fort fall? Guess we'll find out. That's a big thonk. Nope, okay, that was just them probably returning a core. It's literally multiple times a day, like within the same day, EU4 enters the not responding back to responding status. It's incredible. Oh, 98.6.7, 0.8. Oh, we're close. They are what? Counter provinces away. They're 1% of the way away. You can slowly start sticking up. I can see those surrenders happening on screen as well. 99.4%. They are so close to making it to 11th of November. Can they make it 6 days to get 0.5% of their country not occupied? Oh, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Can they make it? And there it is, 11th of November. Ulm has survived. They have survived ruling the world for 6 years. No independence wars, no nothing. A massive lag spike on 11th of November. They're probably returning a court just for the fun of it. One last return just to lag my game out. Because they really can. But yeah, that's it. Will we get another month? No, they've won a siege. They've won a siege. They're like carpet sieging in some areas, so that probably won't help them too much. You can see it's 2832. It was 2833 previously. 99.9%. 100%. There it is. I think that's the month tick. That's all they need. That's all they need. And now we pray for my computer. That's a lag spike. That's a U4 not responding. That's a big thunk. Oh, that was surprisingly quick. Okay, no, that was the month tick. Now here's the processing of all of these countries popping out. Alright, well, I mean, I guess we can do this relatively live. Let's chat and enjoy the process as we let my computer handle the realities of every single country in the world for the most part about to go and grant independence. Bear in mind it's worse for countries like Bohemia, for example, because it already exists, so they're getting more land. Otherwise, that's every rebellion. I mean, that's bad. Oh, wow, that was it. I talked through that live. Remarkably, Ulm is... I mean, they're still at 1,000 overextension, so they're not doing too great. But here's the world. It's very colourful. Byzantium somewhat back. I mean, Crimea didn't break. Lithuania's here. There's a little bit of Kiev in a very weird spot. There's no Muscovy. I guess Muscovy just didn't bother rising up here. Nizhny Novgorod, where a little bit of Novgorod. Sweden's mostly here, as is Denmark. Norway's fine. Some very weird Ulma colonies have survived. And of course, Ulma has maintained their colonial rule. Egypt, bits of it broke. So bits of Egypt went to Egypt. Okay, interesting. Arabia's just normal. This is like vanilla Arabia, apart from Yas and Oman having the weirdest borders. Okay, but whatever. Timmy's a bit on fire. India looking... This is a cool India. I'll be interested to play this like alternative history India. This is looking cool. Guess basically the Vijayanagar's been broken up into a whole bunch of smaller tags. So have the Bahmanis here. Interesting, alright. Southeast Asia looking Ulmer Indochina, but that's about that. Japan's back. All of these chaps, independent daimyo, I believe. Yep, there they are. But these guys are also not republics, of course, unlike nations like Korea, which are grand republics. The Mongols are back. Congratulations, they just achieved them, though. They're not hordes. Oirat's here. They can go have fun with Ming, who's still a vassal. Oh, dear God. Uzbek and Siberia's back. Kazakh survived that somehow. Yeah, I mean, the world's mostly here. What about the New World? How's that looking up? Oh, God. What is this? What is this? I hate this. This is terrible. Why did they control the most random bits of... Okay, alright, well, moving swiftly on. Mustko is doing pretty well. Otherwise, random Ulma control of New World provinces. Kado's just... Oh, they broke free and then went to being a tribe, so they just uncolonized a bunch of this land. They're like, nah. Screw this settled living. Okay. Bunch of other nations have not partaken in that yet. Okay. Ulma Canada, though, does exist. It's a world. It's a world out here. And I mean, Ulma is now very comfortably in charge of Germany. And in fairness, I guess they're still going to be on fire. They're one stability, though. That's nice. I guess they would be bankrupt soon? No. They've got 2 loans. They can't afford more. And, well, they're only 20,000% overextended, so that's progress. Only 1,000 unrest, they were on 12,000, so they're doing relatively well on that front, so yeah. World's looking pretty good so far. I mean, accursed reality. If I could sort by governments, just to see, like, the most random... Okay, these guys are now an emirate, they did break the nobility. But, like, the Ottoman Republic, the Byzantine Great Republic, and then just the Bulgarian Kingdom right there. But then, what's the most random borders? Oh, God. Well, yeah, there it is. There is Ulm. We'll check great powers after the month tick, I guess. But in fairness, Ulm is still here and still fighting in Ulma Tartaria. I wonder if it's easier to world conquest as Ulm from this position, or to do it just in the 1444 Ulm. Also, the game is running noticeably smoother now. I guess there's just less revolts everywhere. Although I don't think that's going to be short. Yeah, I think that's relatively short-lived. I think all the people that were bugged from revolting are about to revolt, if I were to wager a guess. Yep, there it is, a couple hundreds. There they go. Yep, there they go. There's the Burgundians. I think the Mamluks were going to be rising up now soon as well, if they, I'll let them be if I want to wager a guess as well. Yeah. Let's see, can we find the Mamluks on this list? Oh, we didn't even check Africa. Forgot about that. That's looking surprisingly normal. Although that's also a big Ashanti and a Kong. Interesting. And Jollof has been split off with Kaba. That's worth something. It's a weird Africa. What about Congo? That's looking relatively normal. The Nonongo is a bit bigger, and there's a hole in Mabila. Almost Central Africa, they've managed to retain control of that. I guess there wasn't any cause there, but yeah, and they've controlled South Africa as well. Madagascar's literally normal. They like had a little bit of a, you know, a bit of arm administration. They're like, nah, screw this, we're out. Okay. Oh, and Australia, I did forget about them. They kind of hold on to a bit of Australia, but not most of it. New Zealand's also decided to pop out. Yeah, that bit makes sense. All right, did miss a couple spots. That's my bad. For all the New Zealand enjoyers out there. God, the religion map mode though is, it's like, it's so close to being weird, but I think it's the dashed lines of the Ulm administration zones that are the most cursed. And we do actually also have Hussite Moravia. That's cool. Got Riga just staying because they're technically particularists here is so cursed. Oh, maybe you can bump the speed up. Looking good so far. I think they've stopped returning provinces, I think, maybe. At least if they're doing it a lot faster now. Yeah, we can bump the speed up. Okay, the Pope is a papacy. It would have been really funny if there was a Papal Republic, though. And hey, big silly. Why did they hold on to this one province of Northern Transylvania? That's actually incredible. I mean, and Kiev is immediately getting killed by Poland. They've gone straight for it. Ulm is still at peace, which is surreal to me. It's 1451. Ulm has done 6 years of peaceful rule. Oh, and Ireland's free. Yeah, I mean, I guess that was to be expected, but Ireland's here. And so is Scotland. Scotland has obtained their freedom. And, I mean, England's, of course, a republic, so England's a democracy, but all of the monarchies are out here in Ireland. Wait, are these guys? Hey, they are! So we also have the Jews doing their thing over in Semyon. Congrats to them. Finally, the Norwegian separatists have decided, oh, okay, fine, we'll separate, though. Took them a while. Okay, Ulm is at max loans, again, which was 3, apparently. Okay, good to know. I mean, they are spending 127 on the interest while having an income of 40 with 46 inflation. Yep, that checks out. I mean, they're fighting the rebellions. That's something. And back to 14% for breaking again. But yeah, there's the Neapolitans rising up. There's the Sicilian separatists, and yeah, I'm guessing Ulm again. Sorry, again, Mamluks are gonna be coming back soon enough to the Grand Mamluk Republic. God, I hate that. Hey, Lebanon exists. They normally don't, so that's cool to see. Ardalan's also a relative big unicorn, dare I say, and I see Timmy's also starting to fall apart a bit. Khorasan's popping out. Anyone Zoroastrian? No, the Zoroastrians kinda survived, but I think them making Timmy a subject has kind of kept the Zoroastrians down. Yeah, the rest of India's on fire now again. Bengal's grown a bit. I guess they lost their core they were making in Sweden. Do they really make a claim? Really, you should not be fabricating claims. Why are you claiming Swedish? they want it back, and they're like, nah, watch this. They don't even want that land, but they kind of desire some of this. Like, yeah, we're gonna come back. Just you wait. These are the top provinces for us to take back in our glorious world reconquest. Oh god, this map is just so cursed when you look at it in a diplomatic view. Oh god, I mean, to some extent, this is what the world would look like if it was all a part of the HRE. I did also promise to say great powers, and Ulm remains great power number 1, followed quite closely by Lithuania. Lithuania is doing really, really well. For that one Lithuania lover out there, you're having the greatest time of your life now. Lithuania is the natural successor to Ulm for the world conquest, apparently. So good news for you. Poland in close second, followed by Hungary, the Uzbeks, Arawak for some reason, and the Mamluks just sliding in there because I think they probably got another province with some more dev clicks. Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, Denmark and Mamluks, the other great powers. Congratulations. How is Ulm still, like, not facing revolt from their lessers, shall we say? But yeah, no, Portugal's also free. Congratulations to them. But I mean, eventually Ulm will be able to just core all this, right? Why can they culture convert? Oh, they can convert to no culture because it's adjacent to a no culture province. Okay. Whatever magic Ulm did for the no culture, it's only apparently applied to Stuttgart and Dortmund. Okay. And whatever happened in Dongola. I guess we don't talk about what happened in Dongola. Hey, and what's this tag? Magic? I have not seen these guys at all, ever. That's a weird flag, haven't seen it around. Somali ideas, so nothing cool in that regard. Well, I mean, Somali ideas are relatively unique, it's just saying, like, it's not like they have unique ideas. You do get to see some unicorns that you normally don't really get to see. I was going to say, that's a weird red, and then that's the Timurids. Like Ardalan. Does Nizhny Novgorod even have ideas? Unique ones? They do. Are they any good? Construction cost, fort maintenance, cost to fabricate claims, some caravan power, dev cost. Bit more fort defense. They get a colonist. I guess it is the old Nizhny Novgorod. They could, yeah, go east. Instead of Siberian frontiers, you get a bunch of Siberian frontiers. Trade efficiency and culture conversion cost, but yeah. Anything cool out of these revolta tags down here? Like Bajpur, Deccan Sultanate. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Default makes sense. Deccani Sultanate, yeah, they just don't really get to see play, do they? Although it's a very, very Hindu revolta, dare I say, India now, so that's nice of them. But we're approaching 54, so almost 10 years of Ulm still being Great Power #1, followed, of course, by Lithuania. They are getting pretty close to the next break. Yeah, already at 70% though, so don't think it'll be enough to knock them down a peg. Probably still be Great Power #1, but world's getting up there, They're probably losing a lot of people the second time around. Because I think, yeah, that's all the rebels. I think this is fixed there. Like, too overextended to get rebels bug. Yeah, see, now there's, like, rebellion everywhere. Yeah. Even these chaps are starting to really go ham now. And that's a big Kalchaki. Neat. But hey, they're down to below 1,000 unrest again. That's good for them. I guess they're also just running out of provinces to siege and arm because they can't really go for Germany, can they? Still haven't started work on the corruption, but it's going to be less than 100 a year soon. It's only plus 99 from overextension. There we go. Almost getting rid of their corruption any day now. Any day now. They're also... Did they go bankrupt? They did. Oh, that's probably why the rebels aren't taking up. Yeah, there's a weird, I should say, balancing thing Paradox put in, where AIs, when they're bankrupt, don't get rebel bombed too much, because apparently it made the game too easy for the players, which I thought was very weird. And I mean, it's still going to break here, I think, but yeah, this is why these guys aren't ticking up. C0.1. Because rebels don't tick up if you're AI and you're bankrupt, because Paradox made it more balanced, because AI can't handle bankrupt rebels, basically. I mean, obviously Ulm can't really handle them here anyway, but you get what I mean. That's why these guys are stuck on 90%. You can see on the month tick now that they're not gonna, any of them are gonna gain progress. See, there's the month tick. Wow, they're all 90% again, and everyone's still on 80% from earlier. Woo. Doesn't mean you can't get new groups like these Albanian separatists, but bear in mind that just means, how did they hold on to Albania? It's the whole thing is revolting against the Ottomans, but I guess they stayed loyal for these guys. And surprisingly, the Ottomans, I mean, they've allied everyone here, so they might be going for independence soon, but we'll see, especially if Ulm remains bankrupt. It most certainly is. It's weird seeing the world get uncolonized as these guys go tribal, and yeah, you actually get tribal land again. Neat. But hey, at least their rule over Germany is secured, until the particularists rise up. Where are the particularists? I haven't actually seen the particularist stacks. Assuming there'll be a lot of them. Oh, there it is, 700,000. Yeah, that checks out. But look at that, they're getting less than 100 corruption a year now. They made so much progress. Only 961 rest, only 300% negative admin efficiency. Doing great. Hey, the Mamluks. The Mamluks are back. And then some. Alright. Guess that kind of helps them break to rebels, although a bit more indirectly. Great power, my eyes though. Mamluks are still behind Lithuania. Lithuania continues to do really well. Lithuania has some pretty reasonable designs, and they're actually friendly towards Ulm. That's cool. Yes, because Ulm has been improving relations with Lithuania. Why? Of all things, did you improve with... Okay, whatever. You know what you're doing. At least I want to think you do. Venice also got Trentino. That's a weird one. Okay. Oh, Milan's popped out. Congratulations. And Austria's back. Did they... Oh, they released them as a vassal. Huh, that's neat. Oh, they're underneath their vassal limit. They're fighting the French. Yeah, okay. And the French are at war with the English now as well. Poetic. Okay, what is this world war? I've got the French, the Castilians, the Ottomans, and the Timurids, and the Chinese fighting Ulm, backed by the English, and... Who else you got? Ulm, and Delhi, and Austria. Well, it's a list of peeps. Wait, isn't Austria the emperor? They are. They're also a federal republic. Fascinating. Very fascinating. Okay. Oh, Teutons are here. Oh, Brandenburg's here. Oh, what are they doing? How do they manage that? Are they at war or did they break? They can't break at war. Teutons are here. Okay, they're actually losing core German land now. That's... Guess they did get rebels to break them. Fair enough. They're also not doing too well. -4 war score here. In the French war... Of course the French kicked it off. Yeah, actually, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I mean, they're going for it. Where are the Ulm armies? Are they ready to respond? They have 36,000 somewhere. Let's see. Ulm is garrisoning... Okay, they're going for the northern front. Gonna retake Calais. Makes sense. We're garrisoning... Alright. Okay, that's your call. Okay, we've also got... We're guarding the Panama Canal. Crucial. Crucial for maritime trade. Makes sense. We've got another 2,000... Yeah, those are mentioned here. We've got 1,000 men black flagged here near Mali. Yep, okay. And that's the Caribbean garrison. Okay, yeah, I don't think they've got this. I'll be honest. They're also getting more and more rebellions by the day. 13 war exhaustion. How do they manage that? I think because of the overextend... Yeah, probably events or something. That's impressive. They're gaining that super quickly as well. But they're only on plus 400 unrest now. Only minus 179% admin efficiency. Hey, they'll be able to declare the Hanseatic League soon, I think, maybe. They're certainly losing a lot of money. I'm assuming France just takes independence here. I don't think they want much. Hey, and Burgundy's back. Congratulations to... Oh, they're back because Ulm released them as... Can they release vassals mid-war? That's what they did. They've released an What? They shouldn't be able to do that. Got a big Teutons in Brandenburg, yeah. So Ulm is still kind of hanging on. Just not very well. And I mean, they're outside the Ulm capital. I mean, they're bankrupt and about to go bankrupt again. I don't think you... Yeah, they're 21. How? They're literally above the war exhaustion cap. They go back down to 20 because that's the cap, but... No, I'm down 50% to breaking. But they're also down to 640 provinces, so that part's not great. I think if Ulm falls, it's not going to be good for their war score. Yep, there it is. Minus 22. I do wonder what they want. What the French want from Ulm. I'm guessing their independence, but what else? They're still getting screwed by these German forts because they're having to pay 37 ducats a month for them. So even when they go bankrupt, they still can't afford to do anything because they're making no money and they just have to pay for all the forts. Right, the Bengali separatists will be defecting any month now. So the Ulm fleet's engaging very badly. Okay, the Ulm fleet has been defeated. All right. They even had a province to fall back on that's not occupied. Weird. Oh god, these maps getting worse and worse. Oh, did poor Delhi get... Yeah, they're getting occupied as well by the Timmies. They finally sorted out their internal issues now that they've, believe got the... Yep, Babu Timmy back on the throne. Look, they've got the governors at bay. Congratulations, and they've overran the traitor. Good job. Oh, Russia, followed by Muscovy. Muscovy's just getting demolished in this timeline. Novgorod, Kozim, all just partaking them. Also, this Mamluks definitely looks off. Can't really tell why. And, yep, I mean, Byzantium's surviving. I guess probably not for too long. And big Crimea. Neat. Although it's not that big, it's just growing a very little bit. Wait, is that what the Ulm armies are? They're occupying... Of course, okay. The Ulm occupations of the Ottomans. Of course, that's the front they've chosen. Excellent choice, Ulm, but you may want to defend Ulm. The British and Ulm navies, of course, are, however, keeping the French at bay, so Britain will remain a loyalist Ulm colony, though. God, that's such a weird phrase. Also, how is England getting so much crippling? I guess they're struggling to root it out, but... You probably should go for it. That's a lot of corruption that you've got there, England, from Ulm. Alright, they're about to lose Korea. That's probably not too good. I mean, I say they're about to. There you go. There goes Korea. Korea's back. They just had a bit of an Ulm stint. Otherwise, they're back to normal. I mean, most of this looks believable. Maybe not the Buryat. I have never really seen these guys around. I know they've, like, I've heard of them, I think, but really seen them around. I know they're, like, a tag in the area. Also, a very big Magdunago, I think, in all the usually uncolonized provinces over here. Huh, actually not awful. Oh, and as I was looking at them, I missed the peace deal. France is now free. As is Castile and a couple other peeps. Okay. Alright, this is a colourful Italy though as well. Mantua is big, Milan, Parma, Modena, Bologna, Lucca, Pisa, Florence, Siena. Everyone's invited to the party. And Ulm is no longer an oligarchy, are they? No, they're a presidential dictatorship. Okay. So the country in charge of Germany just lost their democracy and become a dictatorship, and Brabant's free. Are they getting the Dutch revolt? Not yet, but hey, at least they're dealing with their war exhaustion, and they're bankrupt again. Till 67. Yep. And they're losing money again. Yes, they're not actually going to get rebels. Oh, there's the English War for Independence. Okay. I guess Brandenburg stuck should be loyal, but now they can release new people. Does Austria desire any of this? No, not really. Well, at least their unrest is just down to plus 180. Oh, and speaking of, the Bohemians have gone in against Passau as well. Almost missed that. Oops. Yeah, I mean, I think they probably beat that because I think exactly none of those are loyal. I don't understand how China is staying loyal, though. That seems weird. I guess they're very aligned corruption-wise with their administration. Also, you do not need 12,000 men guarding this. Right? It's never going to get involved and be an issue. Why does Air own... I guess they're Turok primary culture, so that'll be it, but it's a bit of a weird reality there, I even say. And there it is, Big Tapua. They've grown, and Ulm and these are getting smaller and smaller by the day. The Native Americans, however, are continuing to expand their domain over America, at the expense of Ulm. Look, even the English are landing. I don't think they designed that land. Let's check. Nope. They're just doing it for the fun of the game. The Croats are helping the Austrians to kill Ulm. That's just cruel. Poor Ulm about to go hit another bankruptcy. Oh, hey, it's one way to prevent the nobles and the peasants, I guess. Oh, there's the peace... What was that? They have an agenda to vassalize the Pope as well. I missed that. What is this peace deal? Bohemia, what have you done? Oh, that's ugly. At least the Ulm estates are very, very loyal. And, I mean, they're still 333 tech. Makes sense because they're constant bankruptcy is still. Also, since when did England get Riga? That's quite of a weird target for anything to go to in this war, but congrats. And hey, Riga does still have a core on it. I'm also just imagining the Ulm peasants rise up in the middle of the Amazonian jungle and go strike out for better working conditions in the Ulm Amazonian jungle chocolate factories. But there it is. Ulm is now at peace with Austria. Congratulations to them. They still maintain their massive overextension. And have now released anyone else new? No. No. They still have the Ming. How do they still have the Ming? How's the Ming of all nations loyal? I guess a Ming know that the only thing keeping the hordes from invading them is the Ulmian armies, but there we go. They're getting even more small independences. Hey, Lippe and Cologne are popping off. I think that's a return core, though. Yeah, republics, so that's just them returning cores yet again. Oh, and there's Palatinate because they... I still don't know how they're releasing subjects while at war, because they shouldn't be able to do this, but you can tell that there's an independence war, because they just released new random subjects. Switzerland's back. A very corrupt republic, very corrupt Switzerland, very corrupt Thuringian Republic, very corrupt Brunswick Republic. I guess they're only minus 47%, admin efficiency. That's actually a bit more reasonable. Only double over GovCap. Only 126 unrest. Still very bankrupt and broke, but, progress. And this is the Ming War for Independence now. Okay. Thankfully, they actually bought someone in the local area, otherwise I don't think I would have ever finished that war. By some divine miracle, Ulm is still great power number 1. After 1471 here, but Ming is now second after that independence. Timmy, France, Ottomans, Castile, Delhi, and Lithuania. Lithuania is still handing in top 8. Very impressive performance by Lithuania. I am very proud of how far they've come here, as it were. But yeah, if you're an AI and you're struggling with rebels, just go bankrupt. It stops them ticking up. More tips from John Paradox right here. I'm actually really annoyed at that. It's kind of ruined half the fun. We didn't get to see him break free to rebels, just had to wait it out. I guess, is this the state we want to send the campaign to Slevik now? I'll be honest though, the main thing I'm very happy about is the fact that I can actually run this in like speed 5. Oh god, Ulm Western Siberia. I just saw on the map all the red dots. It's just all been sieged out by the Delhi independence movement. Wow. That's cursed. I was going to say, do they have allies? No, of course not. They keep releasing subjects to use up all their slots. They've got quite a good reformist, shall we say. Ulm certainly needs a lot of autocratic... They've abandoned democracy. They've gone straight for an autocracy here. Who's a reformer? He's certainly going to reform something in Ulm, that's for certain, but... There we go. And there's the peace deal. A couple more released nations. Alright. Okay, Brabant's gained... Interesting choice for Brabant here. Fair enough. And hey, Oldenburg's back. They're now being released as counties, though. Still very corrupt, but of course, Ulm is no longer a democracy. The Ulm democracy failed, so that the Ottoman democracy, who are, of course, killing the Byzantines, that can run. The Ottoman Republic, and the Timurid, I guess, back to Emirate, and the Delhi New Abate. Okay, so and the Ming Republic. God, that's cursed. or the Korean Republic, or the random Ikto-Iki Republic. Wow. Or, of course, the Mamluk Grand Republic, or the Tapua Republic, who are losing despite being the attackers. I'm not sure, it's a bit hard to tell. These occupations aren't looking too good. And California, of all places, is just fine with being under Ulm administration. But the HRE is almost looking normal, dare I even say. This is almost manageable levels of vote. Oh, I thought it was 198%. No, it's still 2,000% overextension. It's still not manageable. My apologies. Hey, we're below 100 unrest. Look at that. You're bound to go bankrupt again. But, you know, it's US, and you're just a state you find yourself in on, really. Oh, and the Lorraine conquest of Strasbourg. We just saw that one live, actually. Here it comes. It's Lorraine going for some expansion. And I don't think Ulm's in a state to, I was going to say fight this, but frankly fight anyone. They've recovered their manpower at least, but yeah, no. Poor Dortmund, though, remains cultureless. It is, of course, also unlawful territory because, oh god, this is all still HRE, isn't it? Oh, it's hereditary. Charles de Foix is the emperor of the hereditary HRE, who's so hereditary they've got 2 electors. So it's not hereditary, I guess. So the empire's kind of back. They've partially survived that, frankly. Very impressive. Are we going to get the Italy leaves the empire event with Savoy soon? The fact that Ulm also just has all these trade companies is insane. Also, wow, sorry, the Teutons broke free from Ulm rule, but was still broke free just in time for the Danzig revolt anyway. Wow, okay. Guess some things truly are canon. Muscovy, though, did not survive this timeline. It's a Muscovy-free timeline, and Novgorod is the ruler of the areas and a republic nevertheless. The entire area is actually mostly principalities, but the Novgorod Republic does stand. England, though, is not having a good time with their particularists. I guess their corruption's catching up to them, although they're slowly but surely getting rid of it. Hey, at least they've got that papal approval. Congrats. I mean, by this point, we're going to have the Protestant Reformation kick off normally. I see why it's taken a while. They decided to park their armies on the one fort they can't siege and not siege it. Very smart. Oh, okay, Ulm is finally done. What is this peace? Oh my god, what is this peace deal? Oh, why? What is this? What is this? Oh, that's just grim. Oh, the state privilege change for the they no longer get strong duchies. Why is? Wait, is that literally all? That's literally all of them. All of them declared friend. Okay. That's everyone. It's all of them. I saw that pop up. I was like, why did they lose? Why did they lose that privilege? It's because all of their subjects rose up. That would do it. Okay. Well, Donisworth is back. Congratulations. Have they released any? Have they cheated and released new stuff? They have not, to be fair. That's nice, I guess. Have they been? Alma warning Poland, France, Bohemia, and Austria. Wow. The fact they can just do that is okay. I think the real miracle is, despite all of this, by some divine intervention, Ulm remains Great Power number 1, because they just still own so much land that can't be revolted away. I guess I commend it, but still, a true weird miracle. There it is, minus 47 war score, minus 48. Probably going to have a peace deal soon. Ulm, yet again, for the 50th time today, has been occupied. It's an 83 devastation. It's like the world's punching bag at this point, really. Still Great Power number 1. Have you ever seen a Great Power number 1 with 1.7 income, though? That has to be commendable. Also, the Ulm name finally rests over Ulm. Apart from, of course, Ulma West Siberia, and who could forget, and the Ulma, California. Huh, even at 66% and still not piecing out. I mean, it's Brunswick Independence War, right? I guess they want to take a bunch of land, maybe? Let's see, they can definitely get independence, right? So, and then, how much Warsaw can they take? Quite a bit here. Certainly quite a bit, yeah. So what are they waiting for? Ah, not 100. They can take up to, like, 90. Wow, okay. Ulm really out here. Oh, getting rebels, apparently. Finally, those particularists rose up. I guess they rose up the one time they can deal with them. Are they not bankrupt? No, they're not bankrupt. So they can get rebels. Or they're about to be bankrupt. Okay. Oh, they're bankrupt again, I think. Yep. So all the rebels stopped. No, they're at peace. And, oh yeah, the bankrupt because they lost money from, yeah. So the rebels stopped. Okay, Ulm, are you still going to release subjects? Well, you're guaranteeing the independence of Switzerland. That's certainly one of the things you can do with your dip slots. You've also rivaled the Chinese. And you are fighting as the Frisian reconquest of Friesland. You know, they kind of have the name on it, you know, that's fair. That one's fair. Oh god, the cascade. The cascade is happening. Smell blood in the water. They smell blood in the water. Yep, and yet again, Ulm remains great power number 1 by genuinely divine miracle. More have joined the fray, now Lipian? Yep, one of the republics they granted their independence very generously with 95 corruption too. Hey, it's only 70, you can start considering rooting out. I mean, you probably still shouldn't, but, you know, you're going bankrupt pretty constantly, so... Progress, and hey, you can actually spend less than 999 admin for each core now. But I'll be honest, guys, I don't think Ulm's making a comeback from this. Now, if they lose Ulm itself, I think that would be the most tragic, because that's like their only core. Hey, the Californians are finally bothering to rise up. Oh, did miss a peace deal. I believe that was with one of the... it's hard to tell, my apologies. I'll look away for 3 seconds. Don't worry, they're back to war again. At least they're not losing Ulm. At least Ulm itself stands. It'll be so funny and tragic if they become a free city after all of this as well. Also, I've just realised Ulm has been expanding in their administration every single time because they're so over GovCap, they're trying to get back under it, and in fairness, it's working. Well, there's other things they're doing that are helping them get back under GovCap, but I guess the expand administration is one of them. And look at that! The heir to the throne of Ulm, another von Regensburg, is a nice, kind-hearted man. They'll need it, I think. Oh, there's another piece though, just checking how long bankruptcy is left, till 96, so a bit more time, or they should probably take these loans while they can, or I guess this one loan while they can. Maybe not. 7 interest is pretty bad. They've held on to No Culture Dortmund though, so that's good for them. And No Culture Stuttgart has remained under their control. But they're almost below 1,000 overextension. Would you look at that? Oh, that's amazing. Probably not going to ever get a technology, but, you know, 1496, no tech. Oh, who needs tech? Yeah, this is why they've been invaded, isn't it? Let's take a look at the technology map mode. Yeah, Germany is just a black hole of technological progress. Meanwhile, Smolensk is out here, 788, and I mean, the tech map mode is so surreal. You can tell it was a Ming release for a while, because... Sorry, not Ming. A release from Ulm, because of their insane corruption they're still struggling with today, and who was a revolter broke free. Like, Lorraine over here is doing really well with 788. Meanwhile, the Central Germans are looking at 333. A black hole of technology. Even the Africans are at like 678 at this point. Ouagadougou, that's a cool flag. I see they lost this land anyway, but at least they've retained control over the Adamawa Plateau. Good job. Probably not for long though. Hey, another peace deal. Practically finishing these wars. Oh, and your bankruptcy's over, so you're actually getting rebellions. Nice. I'm not sure if Alexander I named is going to want to take over the throne, but at this point, if they want to take over, I'll just let them. I think, like, yeah, I'll take a step back. You can be in charge of this. It's only 5 corruption a year. Unfortunately, I think they're about to go bankrupt again, so these rebels are about to lose it all. Yep, there it is. Really, who keeps lending Ulm money? Like, who does it? Own up to it. Why are they still getting a credit line? Ulm is still, in 1499, maybe into the 1500s, though, going to maintain their status as great power number 1. By a very, very small margin of development, though. Ming and the Ottomans are catching up. The Ottomans, of course, are a bit undeterred about this whole situation. They're a bit republic, a bit more republic than I even say that they usually are, but hey, they've consolidated power, they've strengthened the Dhimmi, they've got their Ghazi warriors. Yeah, Ottomans are Ottomaning. No issues for them. Barely being held back. Big Bosnia, though. If anyone's watching from Bosnia, what do you think of the current Balkan map? I mean, there has to be some Bosnian nationalist that's like, this is the greatest dream of all time. Although I guess this probably involves even more land, to be honest. Alright, Ulm is starting to enter internal conflict. Ah, they couldn't improve relations with the defender of the Catholic faith. That's a shame. But there it is, 1501, actually 1500. And they are still great power number 1. Ulm managed to make it to 1501. That's great power number 1. Has the Protestant Reformation spawned? It has not. Reform design is pretty low, actually. At 81%, so it'd be a bit of a late Protestant Reformation, which I guess makes sense. Most of the countries just appeared, but it is what it is. Otherwise, it's an almost normal world. In fact, it's 1501 and Ulm is still great power number 1, despite yet to core anything, like literally anything. It's 40 to core some of these. I mean, they're a bit occupied by rebels, who are these Ulm particularists, but still. Oh, that's maybe why, because of course I just gave them in the game files the province control, so that's why it might be no culture, no religion on a bunch of these. Huh, neat. Oh, and Ulm's back to being invaded. Okay, yeah. Even the Ulm particularists getting slaughtered by, like, 5k stacks. Not a good time to be an Ulm or anything. Okay, yep, there's the 4th. Okay, yeah. I think it's almost a crab bucket mentality again, because no one can actually get, like, 30 war score off Ulm to take anything in the peace deal. Alright, that's... I mean, the biggest peace deal is 12. Holy Roman Intervention. I mean, Ulm certainly needs an intervention, I'll give you that, but wow. Do they say no to unlawful territory and that's how it got caused? Probably what it is, right? They don't have the tier 1 yet. They're gaining imperial authority. I think that is the real part. I mean, I guess most of the empire is actually in the empire, though. A couple of small exceptions, but yeah, for the most part. Pretty united empire. You know what, that is a big Anhalt. Also, rest in peace the rest of the Teutons. I think Poland's going to have a good enough game, although that name placement hurts. That name placement really hurts for Poland. Right, 1505. Surely one of you can peace out now, come on. You haven't got ticking, you've got... Okay, these guys have ticking war score, and these guys have ticking war score. Alright. And look, they're only down to 3 rebels now. That's neat, right? Surprisingly clean South America, though. I'll give them that. Oh, and they are in internal conflicts. Yeah, I don't think they're leaving that. I don't think they're leaving that at all. Still, in 1506, great power number 1, though. I just don't know how. Another day, another Perma-Bancrupcy. Yet again, I'm still trying to find the loan office approving their loans, but denying mine. Are they doing it? They're trying to call something. Well, I can't tell it on the menu here, but that looks like it. It'll be done like never, but, you know, it's occupied pretty permanently, but still. I guess they have to make their way over to the new... Oh, God. To the new world. And yep, they're no longer over gov caps, so they have no more admin efficiency issues. Yay! Sorry, also, this Lorraine has to be one of the weirdest borders I've ever seen an AI do. What are these Lorraine borders? What is this snake? The forbidden snake to Würzburg, of all places. What? How? And with that peace deal, they are still great power number 1. By like 7 development, but still. Oh dear. And another bankruptcy, of course, but yeah, that's just how they communicate. Poor Lipe's been at war with them for 31 years now, I think. No, not 31. 12 plus 9 is 21. 21 years. Okay, a couple more peace deals. Ulm surely is no longer great power number 1. There we go. It lasts until 1509. Till 1509. Okay, with the siege of Ulm, surely. That'll be enough for Palatinate to peace out. Yep, maybe. Yep, there goes Palatinate. It's just the Lipian conquest of Münster remaining. They can't even take Münster now. That's gone. Okay, and no culture. The no culture land has, of course, now been part of the Palatinate. They've taken it. Switzerland, of course, could not survive without the Ulm protection, so 3 leagues has expanded into them. There they go. Ulm is finally at peace. They can select some rivals, like Frankfurt or Chakotay. Have a lot of options. They certainly do. They've also been guaranteed by everyone under the sun. Jesus Christ. And they've been warned by the Palatinate. Yeah, I think that might be it, though, nevertheless. Speaking of the Palatinate's getting Lorraine. Lorraine really is taking this opportunity to go ham. Oh, Alma's giving back some more free cities. But now just 700% overextension. Have they still got Ulm West and Siberia? Yeah, naturally, I mean, who doesn't? Big Kamchatka, though. Hey, only 29 unrest. That's... Yeah, see, they've really been able to get their whole unrest in check. Oh, back to war with Berg. Didn't they have like a... Did all their native allies dishonor? Did Berg decade war for a castle they can't... Okay. Wow. I guess that's something. Poor Ulm. Reduced to the global punching bag. I guess at one point they certainly did rule the world. And continue to rule Ulm West Siberia. And Cameroon. That's very... Look, it's almost Swabian. It's Swabian. And Alma de la Plata. And the Caribbean. Otherwise, practically unchanged. But I think now that even nations like Berg are bullying them, I think it's way too clear. I don't think Ulm is going to be able to make a comeback from this and truly rule the world. I think there's a pre-gone conclusion here. This is it for Ulm. I don't think there's going to be anything too crazy there. And hey, even the Protestant Reformation is slowly but surely kicked off now. The world has gone back to normal, despite the stint of the Ulm administration. It even looks remotely normal. There's a bit of a weird India. I think that's kind of the big giveaway. And actually here, this is the other giveaway that Ulm was in charge of it. Well, obviously, apart from Ulm West Siberia, that's a giveaway. But yeah, it's a world. It's certainly one of the worlds out there. A very colourful world indeed. In Ulm, is that Ulm West Indies? Yes, it is. The Ulm Moluccas, yep. They hold on to that too. Fair enough. Did they hold on to Taiwan? They did, didn't they? Yeah, it's on Taiwan. They managed to hold on to Taiwan. Congratulations, Ulm. You're the rightful... I mean, I guess because they didn't get separatists here, it's Ulm in particular is fair enough. But if you squint your eyes a bit, and you look at this Europe, it almost looks like a bit of a wacky, but dare I even say, normal campaign. And on that note, with the Age of Discovery ending in 38 months, we will end our discovery. What would happen if Ulm would rule the world? With that said, that is all the time I have for you today. Thank you very much for watching. A special thank you to all my channel members, especially Ark, Solar, W Haste, Solemn, Star72, Lord Zendikar, Nick Fassbender, Nanhatan, Nick Huss, The Awesome Rabbit, Best for Gaming, Grandma Flavia, Sov, Mobkiller, Anthony35, AC Napo, Doris Leader, Frankie, Yukata, Danray, Private Claw, Jack, Malvi, Conspiracy Pizza, and Lebarule.